Jazz. It is one of the most important genres of music in human history. A genre so big that just about anybody can recognize it, whether it be through a large ensemble, a small yet big band, or a little small jazz club performance. The effect which this genre of music has had on modern society is quite astounding, as just about every type of music has influence from jazz in some type of way. However, just because of the fact that jazz can be found in an influential way nowadays, it still doesn't mean that it's dead. It's still alive and very prevalent. For example, on campus, there is a jazz band, which I am a part of. On March 9th, we had a performance, and here's a couple clips from that. With such a massive genre of music, there of course has to be an origin, and that origin is very easy to find. This genre of music can be traced back to one of the most important and significant eras in American history, that being the Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance was a cultural and artistic movement that took place in the 1920s and 1930s in Harlem, New York City. It celebrated and promoted African American culture through various forms of art, including literature, music, visual arts, and theater. Harlem Renaissance itself came as a result of a great American movement known as the Great Migration, which saw a number of African Americans from the South migrate to different parts of the United States, more specifically the North. This can be further proven as according to the journal article titled The Harlem Renaissance and Its Blue Jazz Traditions, Harlem and Its Place of Entertainment, written by Virginia Watley Smith for the textbook titled Obsidian 2, the reason for the popularity of jazz within Harlem can be attributed to the Great Migration. She goes on to write that a good number of African Americans that went to Harlem during the Great Migration ended up taking up musical elements from all across the South with them. Prior to the Harlem Renaissance, there was no genre of music more popular for African Americans than blues, and all these elements combined together ended up making what is now known as jazz. The Harlem Renaissance era can best be described as an explosion of creativity, soul, culture, and intellect. This became one of the first times that African Americans gained national recognition for their art. A ton of musicians found success during this era, such as Louis Armstrong, Billie Holiday, and Duke Ellington. This genre would expand further as various non-black musicians would pick it up, such as Frank Sinatra, Glenn Miller, and Jaco Pastorius.